Just minutes ago, President Obama approved a disaster declaration for West Virginia. 9 counties are dealing with a chemical spill. It contaminated the water supply. Up to 300,000 people are being told not to touch the tap water.
The leak happened just about a mile north of the state's largest water treatment plant. The material, a foaming agent used to clean coal, began leaking from a 48,000-gallon storage tank at Freedom Industries, a chemical manufacturer.
State officials say it could be soon that the water is safe for some daily chores, but they can't pinpoint when.
If it had been certified every year like they're supposed to do, then we could have avoided this whole situation.
Freedom Industries tonight said its first priorities were safety containment and cleanup. Meanwhile, the governor worked to head off any potential panic.
It is important to emphasize that water and supplies are available, and there is not a persistent shortage of bottled water.
If there's any little tiny bit of good news here in Charleston, it's that state officials say their testing of the water shows that the contamination level is going down. It's just not down far enough.
They brought every kind of container they could find, jugs, bins, and bottles to fill up, as the people of Charleston, West Virginia learn just how precious clean water is.
I understand boiling water, not be able to drink it, but not to even put it on your body, it's outrageous.
That the water is out. There is no water. Do not use your water.
The first 3 days after the spill, people were coming to work unshowered.
In short, it was a mess. It was a mess.
Seeing the infrastructure come into place basically for emergency water rationing was interesting, not only because no one was prepared for it, but also trying to fathom what it was like to be completely cut off, to not have an appropriate supply of drinking water, or to only have to be able to shower in a public space every couple of days if you're lucky.
What happens here, where we get a lot of rainfall, we take water for granted. We're rarely under water stress in terms of water quantity stress. We just have so much water, and that water has a dilution value to it, so it dilutes our pollution.
There were factors that just kind of lined up to help foster this, from the weather to the stress on the water system itself, that helped create an environment where this contaminant could come out and get into the system and then totally shut everything down. I'm glad that it wasn't in the summer. You know, I'm sure that the stink factor would have been exponentially worse than that, but as far as being completely preventable, could it have been? Yes, absolutely. Did the people across the board who had access to the tools and the systems designed to prevent it act? No, I don't think they did.
I think I had a much more simplistic understanding of that, you know, data had a particular value, and that was not question, you know, that couldn't be questioned. And what I learned is no, it all can be questioned, has to be cross-referenced against a lot of other things in the ecosystem, including interest groups and politics and who says what data is meaningful. I mean, it was a Pandora's box of investigating that.
I think we all were in a bit of disbelief when Gary Southern, someone handed him a bottle of water during that first news conference outside the Freedom Industries headquarters, and he took a swig of water from this bottle. I think we couldn't quite believe that he'd made that kind of a blunder in the midst of all of this, and it really set the tone. That first news conference, the way it was organized, the way Gary Southern interacted with the media, that really set the tone for the way he was perceived by media and how he was perceived in the community, because people were watching that coverage live. It was unfiltered. I mean, it was the news conference. It was happening on the air for people to see, and online we were streaming it. So they saw a very unvarnished version of what was happening.
The moment where the reporter from WCHS said that, hey, we're not done here, whenever he tried to walk away. And I think that no one had any answers, including Freedom, to anything at that point. And I think it pretty much summed up the frustration of media and the public.
This was a colossal failure on all levels for everyone involved, government, private citizens, and the utility provider. I think that the state of Charleston's water and sewer infrastructure is such that it was a ticking time bomb. It was only a matter of time before something really bad happened, and this just happened to be it.
But what we saw from that chemical spill is that when we don't have water, it creates a serious, serious situation, and not one that's just, oh, environmentalists care about it. Everybody cares about it. Citizens care about it. Businesses care about it. It's wildly important to us, and we see it when we realize it when it's gone or when it's not available to us.